How's it going, guys? What's happening? Nothing looks different in here. I've been doing what they call dumb it down landscaping. That's exactly what I'm doing. Do you know what that means? That means you pull everything out and bring it to a minimum. And that's it. I call that dumb it down landscaping. So people, when they look at the house, don't get overwhelmed. Ooh. Instead of looking at 500 bushes, they're going to look at 25. And for some reason, they're going to think it's easier to maintain that way. Meanwhile, they're looking at is mulch. So they're looking at $150 worth of mulch instead of $10,000 worth of trees and bushes. But I guarantee it's going to help. Watch. Okay, guys, we're in the house now, as you can see. Looking at the fish tanks. Finished up most of what I was doing outside. I call that dumbing down landscaping for a reason. To me, dumbed down landscaping is when there's just a couple of bushes and there's either some kind of rock or some kind of mulch. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it, but that's what I classify it as. Especially when you're talking about what I had here, where there was a point where the whole entire front of the house and all the islands were done, where they would be 80% full, and you could just barely see the mulch. Over the last 2 summers, as you know, I've been dumbing it down, as the best way of wording it, and I did it again this year. Last year I had a comment passed that the landscaping was going to require too much work. Not that there was anything wrong with it. It wasn't going to require work to make it better. It was going to require work to maintain it. And I thought about that statement. And there's a big difference between when I bought this house 25 years ago and people looking today. People looking today, at least here where I live, okay, the husband and wife are both going to be working a job, okay? They're going to be running around with the kids. They're going to hire some kind of landscaper of some sort, not because they have a lot of money, because they're not going to have time to do it. And if they look at the landscaping and it's too complicated and too many things need to be pruned, some people actually get turned off by it. Okay? Back in the day, I can remember when I moved in here, it was a different situation. Most people then, not all the wives worked. A lot has changed in the last 25 years between, the price of gas, fuel, taxes, and all the other crap that goes with it. So a lot of people now, a lot of average middle class, did I say middle class? A lot of upper lower class people that aren't quite lower rich class don't have the time in the day, especially if they're going to be raising a family, to do the landscaping like they did in the old days, when you would stand out there and mow the lawn, you'd come to the end, you'd stop, and you'd talk to your neighbor for 25 minutes, then you continue mowing the lawn, and you'd bullshit and have a barbecue. A lot has changed. Times have changed. People are looking for houses that you just walk in, they put their shit down, they don't even got to paint a wall now. You know what I mean? It's almost like leasing has gone into the housing business, because what they're doing is they're coming and they're buying up all the houses that the original owners owned. So now they own them for 70 years. They were 90 and they finally kicked off, and the house hasn't been renovated in 40 years. They come in, they give they give cash, a low amount. They blow through the house. They use inexpensive everything, but everything is redone, and then they sell the house within that weekend. And people walk in, they put their shit down, and they're good to go. And they think the house is going to look like that forever. So there's many houses here just on this block that were beautiful homes that the people lived there for a very long time, and it took pride in it. People come in, they don't realize, either they're from the city or whatever, they don't realize you got to put down weed killer. They don't realize that you got to weed, and so on and so on. But and then there's ones that go the other way also. So I decided this year. Okay, I used to mulch every other year. So last year wasn't the time when I was supposed to mulch, which I should have. But this year I decided I would take out the key bushes and plants that I want to take with me. How's that sound? And replace them with stuff that's a little more inexpensive. Okay, and then just mulch everything, and that's what I've been doing. We're almost done out front. I have a little tiny section left. I finished up what I was doing before, and I just have a little section. The section where me and Rich pulled down that tree years ago. That curve around there, I just have to do, and then mulch, and then we're on to the back. So that's what I've been doing this past week, and Junior's waiting for me to be done with that because I keep putting the equipment in the garage. Well, he's still going out there and working some nights. He'll just move everything out, and he's been working. But he's waiting on me to do that, and whatever. But he's supposed to be helping me with the mulch. And what was I going to say? He's been doing the basic landscaping as this is going on, but it was funny because I was supposed to trim everything, then do the mulch, and he was gonna bring the mulch, dump it, and then I was gonna spread it. That's the way we were gonna do it. I only have one wheelbarrow at this point. I used to have two. So I decided to trim a little bit and then mulch that area, and the wheel was squeaking really bad. And I'm working out there, and all of a sudden I hear fixed, and I turn around and he sprayed the wheel with WD-40 and left. So, but since we're on the subject of landscaping and neighbors, anybody that knows me for a long time, has been watching my channel for a long time, I know I've had my channel. I deleted the first 200 and some odd videos early on for copyright infringements because I didn't know what to do. They scared the shit out of me. But I think my channel's going on it's gotta be 12, 13 years, I think, something like that, but whatever. But anybody that knows me and knows my cause knows that I might work on my car in the garage, but I don't really run or test my car at the house. Pay no attention to Junior's car. Go back to the wagon. When I used to drive that wagon, we would push that thing out of the garage. I would start that thing up in the driveway, immediately put it in gear and idle it down the block. And about a mile from here, approximately, maybe a little closer, there's a shopping center, and I was able to go behind the building and do whatever I needed to do. Whether it be tune it up or play with the timing, adjust something or whatever it is, and I would just bring my little tools. And I would do that to keep peace with the neighbors because my wagon is loud and I'm respectful. So just starting it up in the garage and warming it up, I'm sure it'd be enough to piss everybody off. The times when I used to take it to work, Junior would come out at 6:45 in the morning and help me push that thing into the street, and I'd kick it off and just idle down the block as quick as I could. So I definitely showed a lot of respect. Junior's car, on the other hand, you've heard me start it up, and there's a reason for that. The respect is left. Not because I'm moving, but because I'm moving. Okay, here 25 years. 25 years I've helped everybody around me. We've all been good. Everything went south last year. Because last year we put the house on the market. And a couple came to look at the house, and for some reason, I guess one of my three neighbors, I got one to the left, across the street, and to the right of me. It's the triangle, and they're always watching what I'm doing. That's why I always have the garage door closed, just so you guys know that. Not that I give a shit that they're watching me, but I don't want them to know what I'm doing. I'd rather see them guessing. It's like a game. But, what was I going to say? Yeah. So a couple came to look at the house, and obviously one of the three of them didn't like the couple for whatever the reason is. Just use your imagination. Me not being that type of person, I could give two craps. But I come home to the couple here, to all six of my neighbors. Well, it's three neighbors, but they're couples, so it's six people standing just to the left of my driveway having a meeting. And I pull up and I wave, and they all turn their head on me. And that was the last time we spoke. So somehow, by me putting a sign on my lawn that the house was for sale, and someone seeing that on the internet, contacting the realtor and coming to look at my house, I did something wrong. And that kind of like tweaked me. So that's why you see a difference in the way I run Junior's car and my car. I mean, I used to have the mini bikes in front of the house, but they were mini bikes. You never saw me do a burnout in front of my house in my wagon, ever. There's the one video where I pull back out of my driveway and I do that big, long, smoky burnout in second gear. You see the car rise when I hit second gear. That's edited. Okay? That video was actually 5 hours after when I pulled out of my driveway. And if you look through the window, you see trees, but I was in an industrial park. So it appears like I back out of my driveway, or it appears Junior pushed the car out of the garage, which he did. I fire up the car, we back into the street, I put it in drive, okay? And with that, the camera angle turns to point back, and I do this big, long burnout with the slicks on the car. But that's not what happened. What happened was we went down the block, went to a show, and on the way back, we stopped in the industrial park, and I wanted to try and lift the wheels again for Junior. I did it for him once before. And we did the big long burnout to warm up the slicks. And that was it. But it's edited to look like it happened in front of my house. So, I'm not out to piss off my neighbors, but the respect is left. How's that sound? So, with that said, I've been landscaping in front of the house for a week. I started over the weekend in the rain. I was out there Saturday in the rain doing it. Sunday it poured, so I didn't do anything. I was out there Monday, Tuesday, and today's Wednesday. I was out there again. So these last 3 days. So I've been out there 4 days. And for 4 days, my neighbors have purposely pulled out of the driveways to drive by to see what I'm doing. Yeah. So, with that said, guys, I'm calling it done for today. It's got to be close to 9 o'clock. You can see the fishies are tired. Like I said, I don't know if you could even see them. But what you got there is you got the big one. That's an arowana. He's almost 24 inches now. Just below him, the silverfish is a Florida gar. Above him is a red Oscar. In the corner over here, he's pointing at you is a red terror. And somewhere in that tank, it's always hard for me to see him. I think you can see the Florida gar just to the right of me. You'll never make it out. There's a brown thing that's floating towards the bottom. He's the same size as the Florida gar. He's a Cuban gar. And he's brown. And you can't really see him because there's no lights on. Then there's a massive pleco, and then that catfish that came with the tank. Bought this tank at a car swap meet. So, okay, guys, we're out of here.